woo. Let me tell you, it has been too long since I've sat in this chair talking to this camera. So for some important and very personal reasons, I had to take a 6-month hiatus from creating content. But now we're back, we're ready to roll, we're ready to crush it, and we're going to start the new year off right with a video. Why not? So, hang on to your knickers, because we're about to roll that intro. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we are talking about how to get the most slow-cooked, tasty, delicious, just absolute damn Instagram grid for 2021. That's right, I said damn. For those of you who hate the word moist, I just bypassed that word just completely and we just went straight to damn. So during my hiatus, I was scrolling through my grid, my Instagram grid, and absolutely thought it looked like trash. I hated it. Every single thing. The photos looked great, but just there was no theme. There was no consistency. Nothing was going on. You couldn't see any kind of you just couldn't see what I was going for on my grid. You know, does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Oops. Looks like our lights burn out. That's okay. We're gonna keep going. So I stayed up late one night, decided to wipe out all of my photos. I took out a notebook, took out a pen, I sat down and decided what I wanted my Instagram to look like. I wanted to decide, okay, what kind of photos am I gonna take? In what order are these photos gonna go in? What's the aesthetic, the look, if you will, of the photos that I'm taking and putting on the grid? These are decisions that I had to think through and plan out. And so today, I'm gonna help you guys walk through that, because maybe you're in the same boat that I was, where you just start looking through your grid and all you want to do is just smash the vomit emoji all over it. You know, I don't know. It's irritating, right? You look at all your good work and you think it's great, and you come back to it months later and just like, who did this? This is nasty, gross. I didn't do this. Someone must have hacked my Instagram account. Hackers are everywhere. Let's talk about number one, all right? Tip number one. I don't know if we're doing numbers. I really don't know. They kind of all smush together. So the first thing that I had to decide, what am I going to take pictures of? Like, what's the theme of my grid? And so I hit on the interwebs and decided to search different various articles online of how to create a great Instagram grid, how to make your Instagram grid look good and have a consistent theme. I stumbled upon this article and I, for the life of me, cannot remember where it's at, but if I find it, I'll throw it in the description below. So the article mentioned several things, and one of them was pick items that you can shoot on a daily basis. That's a life-changing tip right there. That was just wow, profound, love it. So I sat down and thought about, okay, what can we take pictures of every day? What do I have in my vicinity, my area, if you will, that I could take pictures of every day? So I started listing off stuff. Now, just because you write it down doesn't mean you have to do it. Just start making a list, a bullet point list, just bullet. And so that's what I did. I think I came up with like 20 things. And so the next step was, okay, how many of these pictures do I want to display on my grid? Now, various people and articles have said, you know, you can pick from 1 to 2 to 3, whatever. You can pick as many. I decided on 5. Now, why I decided on this is because you have in the grid, you have 1, 2, 3 by however many up. Okay, so you got 3 across and however many you're gonna do up and down, right? I didn't want to do 3 because then each row would be its own thing. I just didn't want that. Basically, you have one column of this, one column of that, one column of this. I didn't want that. I wanted them to be spread out a little bit more. So I decided on the golden number 5, because to me, that was gonna spread out the post even more. So once I decided, okay, I want 5 things, then I started going through my list and whittling it down to 5 things. And here's those 5 things I decided on. I decided I wanted to shoot my cats. I love my cats. I have 2 of them. They're beautiful. Absolutely love them. And I could take pictures of them every day. So cats, coffee. I'm a huge coffee lover. Love coffee. Every single day I'm drinking it. And I just like the way they look in photos. So coffee, obviously. Now the third one that I picked is actually kind of weird for me, but it was myself. I've noticed throughout the years of me being on Instagram that the photos that got the most likes were photos of me. I'm like, what? People come to Instagram to look at me? That's weird. I mean, Instagram's it's where you put landscapes and, funny memes and stuff on it. No one wants to look at me, right? But apparently, my followers, the people who love to follow me on Instagram, they like to see pictures of me every once in a while. So I decided to do that. It's uncomfortable for me to have my picture taken. I don't like it. I much prefer to be behind the camera. But hey, new year, new ways to grow. It's time to get over it. People want to see your face, Grace. Okay. So then the fourth thing was landscapes. Landscapes is super easy to take pictures of. Anyone can go out with their camera or smartphone, find a field, snap that picture, post it on Instagram, and let the double taps go. And the fifth thing that I chose was products. I love product photography. It's one of those things where I can just look at all day, every day. Give me some popcorn. Let's take a look at product photography, right? So we did that. Okay. So we got our 5 things down. So once we decided on that, then we have to decide on the order. Okay, so as you can see on my grid, there's the order of it. You can go through and look, you can see, okay, so cats are first, then coffee, then himself, then landscapes, then products, and then it starts over again. And it's just gonna weave its way through the grid. So you got your 5 things, you have the order, and now we need to decide on how everything's gonna look. So this is like your aesthetic, the actual edit, the look of it. If you're someone who's shooting photos, this is where you go into Lightroom or what have you, and you just start messing around, figuring out the look that you want. Now, with this in mind, the colors and the look, I wanted to make sure that the 5 items that I picked out are going to be able to give me those colors that I'm looking for. And luckily for me, those 5 items, they do it. So for me, that took the longest time, was deciding what do I want to take pictures of and how I want it to look. This next bit of information, tip, or what have you, I think it's the most important. You need to be making sure that these photos are high quality, as high quality as you can afford. Meaning, you don't need an expensive camera to take good photos. Smartphones have ridiculously good cameras. They take amazing photos, they shoot incredible video. Your smartphone, if you do not have an expensive camera, like a mirrorless or a DSLR or anything like that, your phone is what you need to be using. So keep this in mind, that taking high quality photos doesn't mean you have to break the bank, okay? You do not need to go out and buy a camera and a few lenses and some ND filters just so you can take some banger content. The best camera is the one that you have right now, okay? All right, so now we got all that out of the way. We got your camera. Taking photos, you're taking the photos of the stuff that you want to take photos of, you making it look good in Lightroom or whatever editing app or software you want to use. The next biggest thing to really stand out on Instagram is to post consistently. With anything in life, if you show up consistently, you're going to do great. You're going to do fine. If you got a job, 9-to-5 job, what happens if you don't show up consistently? Probably going to get fired, okay? What if you're in a relationship, right? You're not there mentally or physically or whatever it is consistently. Well, guess what? That relationship's not going to last. It's the same thing with creating content. Now, let me be very clear. Posting consistently does not mean every single day. Not everyone can just upload a photo every single day and upload a video every single day, because if we did, everyone will be YouTube and Instagram stars and we'll all be making money and we would never be working a 9-to-5 job ever again. What you need to decide is, how often do I want to post? Do I want to post once a day? Do I want to post once every other day? Do I want to post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Just on the weekends? It doesn't matter. You decide that, and then pick a time that you want to post and then just stick with it. That way your followers know, hey, it's Monday, it's 9:59, in a minute, they're about to drop a new photo, and I can't wait to double tap that, write an encouraging comment in the bottom. Let's do it. Woohoo! Now, to help with that, this is a great segue into the next point. To help with that, get yourself an Instagram planner, an Instagram uploader, a scheduler. There's tons of them out there. The one that I particularly use is called later.com. It's got a lot of cool features, a lot of cool things you can do. You can upload all your photos to it. You can get them scheduled for whatever time and day you want. You can write your captions in, and then you can just let them sit there and I'll auto-publish for you. There's a free option, there's a paid option. I'm just on the free option. I get 30 auto posts a month, that's fine with me. That's great. That pretty much guarantees me a photo every single day that I can upload. upload. Of course, if you want more, obviously you have to pay a subscription, that's cool too. This is a great way for you to basically edit your photos, upload, get them scheduled on a calendar, and then forget about them. Now, what's really cool about Later that I love, and I'm sure other programs do this, but particularly Later also has this feature called an Instagram planner. So to actually show you, like on a phone, what your grid is going to look like. Once you get your photos uploaded to their site and then you put them on the calendar, Later will take those photos and stick them on a mock grid for you. You're going to see how they're going to look when they come out on Instagram. That'll help you kind of plan, okay, so now that I got my photos around, maybe this photo will look better next to this photo. So you can start moving things around and kind of curating your grid to make it look even better. So let's recap. How do we get a banger grid? We need to create a unified theme. Pick things that you can take photos of on a daily basis and then decide how many of those photos you're going to post. The next, you're going to want to design your aesthetic. You're going to want to now decide, how do I want it to look? What colors, what textures, what things do I want to be in these photos that's going to cater to my style and my liking. Next, you want to make sure you're taking high quality photos. Your phone, perfect. You got it? If you got a camera, that's great. If you don't, use your phone, you're good to go. Make sure that you're posting consistently. That's the next thing. Make sure you're posting consistently. And then, of course, the last thing, my last piece of advice is use an Instagram scheduler and a grid planner. Doesn't have to be the one that I mentioned, but if you want to use it, there's a link down below. The video is not sponsored by them. I'm not paid by them. I just like using their products. That link will help get me a couple extra posts throughout the month and help you as well. So there's a couple things just to keep in mind. One, this doesn't just apply to photographers. If you're someone who is an interior designer and you want to take photos of the work you've done, these tips will help you out as well to make that grid look absolutely good. Or if you're someone who's a graphic designer or someone who likes to post just encouraging quotes on their Instagram, this is going to help too. And make sure you're having fun with it, because photography, content creating, it's a lot of fun. It should be enjoyable. It should never be stressful. And with that being said, we're gonna end this video.